Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, good morning. I am Christopher Fonachoba, a celebrated environmental and social justice campaigner. I have done a lot of crusading for the rights of the indigenous people of Mundemba, Toko, and Goti when they were faced with a serious land grab from the American multinational company called Heracles Farms, Alliance Global Sustainable Oils Cameroon. I also crusaded and stopped the Archbishop of Bamenda, His Grace Cornelius Fontemeswa, from grabbing the land of Bororo people, they occupied since 1904, for the construction of the Catholic University of Cameroon, Cato. I've been on many other campaigns, but notably these two highlight my profile as a serious, committed, and convinced campaigner for environmental and social justice. I'm here today for us to chart a way forward on how to come out of this quagmire, which is the genocide imposed on us by the Cameroon Republic. We have been at war for about 8 years with the Cameroon Republic, which had declared it was going to neutralize and crush the self-determination forces within 2 weeks. Altogether, we are about 400 weeks into the campaign with multiple massacres and into what has now become known as a genocide. The Ambazonian genocide should be recognized as such, for the people are being killed for simply saying they're Ambazonians. If you are met anywhere claiming you are Ambazonian, you are killed, whether you committed a crime or not. So let us look into the why the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Why the Federal Republic of Ambazonia? Ambazonia is one of the earliest democratic countries in the world when it achieved autonomy from the Federal Republic of Nigeria or the Republic of Nigeria in 1954. Between 1954 and 1961, the former British Southern Cameroons organized transparent, democratic, and free elections, which saw the election of two prime ministers. Prime Minister Emmanuel Lifafa-Endele. Dr. Emmanuel Lifafa-Endele was first elected, and then in the second election, John Gufoncha of the opposition was elected as Prime Minister of the former British Southern Cameroons. So while the rest of Africa was still tottering on the brink of an independence campaign, Ambazonia already, after declaring benevolent neutrality from the politics of Eastern Nigeria, crossed over to Boya and started its own parliament and House of Chiefs. The parliament in Boya was established without the Nigerian authorities pursuing the former British Southern Cameroonians who were living to create their own state in former British Southern Cameroons in Boya. In 1957, the Southern Cameroon House of Chiefs, SCHC, was created, and the first chiefs were elected to represent their chiefdoms at the House of Chiefs. So by the time the Republic of Cameroon was aspiring for independence in 1960, the former British Southern Cameroons had already tasted independence for about 6 years. It is unfortunate that the British Trusteeship Council representative at the United Nations, Andrew Cohen, chose to advise otherwise against the mandate of the trusteeship, which was to prepare the former British Southern Cameroons for independence. They avoided the mandate and instead advised the former British Cameroons to join either Nigeria or Cameroon Republic, to achieve independence. The worrying question, which very many are not ready to answer, is how does one country attain independence by joining another? Why attach the strings to the people of British Southern Cameroons to only achieve independence by joining the Federation of Nigeria or the Cameroon Republic? This is a pending question which the United Nations in the days ahead has to answer to speedily resolve this genocide imposed on the people of Ambazonia because of the determination to self-govern themselves. Why the Federal Republic of Ambazonia? The Federal Republic of Ambazonia was never a French colony. Since 1961, after the Boche plebiscite and the forceful occupation of the British Southern Cameroons, the French Republic has exploited Ambazonia through the Cameroon Republic. For 63 years and more, all the revenues and 5% of Cameroon revenue comes from the former British Southern Cameroons, which we choose today to call the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Yet, of all the money that is drawn out of the former British Southern Cameroons, Cameroon Republic, through a colonial pact with France, is obliged to deposit 60% of that money in the French treasury. France continues to have a stranglehold over all its former French colonies, 13 former French colonies, in what is called the Colonial Pact. Now, the independent British Southern Cameroons was forced to inherit a pact which it did not sign. The former British Southern Cameroons does not owe the French Republic anything, to be killed today simply for the interest of the French. If members of the former France-Afrique, the 13 states of the French colonial France-Afrique, are breaking free, we are thinking of Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, the question that needs an urgent answer is why should the former British Southern Cameroons remain bound to France, even without owing France a debt? This is why we need an independent Federal Republic of Ambazonia. This is why we fight.
Krijg tot 50% korting en profiteer van gratis levering. Shop vandaag nog op belliani.nl.
The Cameroon Republic is fighting to maintain us as a colony of France, whereas we're never a colony of France. The Cameroon Republic is fighting for us to continue to feed the French while we starve to death. We are a very rich territory. We are richer than France itself, so we are capable of starting an economy richer than that of Dubai and most of the Gulf Emirates. So we have to be independent to better cater for the needs of our people and to also look into our future. As an English-speaking territory, we are not fighting to become servile again to the British. English is just a language of expression, but the conflict and the war we fight is not a war over languages. Most countries misconstrue the war in the Cameroons as a war over languages. We are not interested into becoming a British colony or speaking English. We are just aspiring to self-determination as we had from 1954. English just being a vehicle of communication. At some point, we might elect to use one of our mother tongues as a means of communication. This message goes out to most African countries and most countries in the world who continue to erroneously believe that the war in the Cameroons is a war over language. It is a socio-economic and political war whereby we want to freely administer ourselves free from the corruption of French Cameroon, free from the high-handedness of the junta installed in Yaoundé by the French, free from economic stranglehold of France, whereby 75% of revenue from Cameroon is contributed by Ambazonia, and we don't receive up to 2% of that revenue a year. Imagine what Ambazonia would have been if just 5 years of its annual resources are invested in Ambazonia. So Ambazonia must be free for this and other reasons. Thank you. In the next series of presentations, we'll be addressing our former Francophone brothers, our former brothers of the Republic of Cameroon, on the necessity to live by the 8 pillars of peace, which call for good neighborliness, transparency, accountability, investment in per capita, and more. We will be hearing about that in the days ahead. Thank you.
I think say that very brief history where this was comrade, you don't talk, we don't give, it makes sense, right? It makes a lot of sense. Sense the way talk. My brother and sister, mommy and papa, they will do for this platform for educate and for inform our audience, for inform you and for educate you as well. For bring you in the way it concern Ambazonian struggle, for bring you in the way it concern the life of the people of Southern Cameroon and the movement and how we would work say this would go for our own country way we will treat our people then better than the Republic of Cameroon. Thank you very much for watching. I always tell you say this when you watch video like this one, my brother and sister, no wait before I can tell you say this way share them. Try make them a habit. So when you watch something so you find share them for two group them. Share them for two group them. Just share them for day. Just press your share button so pop share them for two group them. Make people then watch them. That's how they spread message. That's how people then get for hear them. At the end of the day, the education, the information, our community, the hear them and everything in the work I find. And you know say they talk say this so my people perish because of lack of knowledge. You find say this information na power. So don't forget, say when you just watch thing like this one, you find for share them. Thank you very much. I will see you again for our next update. Bye bye for now.